Hey, what's up, family? Dr. QB on here. I have so missed you guys. I honestly did. I did not mean to be away from you that long. I'm sorry if I made you cry, but honey, here I am, okay? So, look, tonight I came for a good time, not a long time now, all right? And I wanted to just share with you something that was on my mind recently that made me chuckle and giggle a little bit. I was thinking back to, man, several years ago about how I felt like the Lord was just really being mean and unfair to me because he was constantly talking to me about my need to be consistent, particularly emotionally consistent. And what the Lord was talking to me about individually at that time. And then if someone gave me a prophetic word, it was always about how when the winds blow, I'm blowing with the winds. And I'm like, well, yeah, if things in my life are being shaken, shook up, then I'm shook up. Like that makes sense to me. So I felt like the Lord wasn't making sense to me about me being consistent because in my mind, the Lord, well, when my life gets better, then I'm not going to be crying. Then I'm not going to be emotional. Then I'm not going to be moving and waving when the winds blow. Like once things calm down, I'll be good when things are good, God. And he was really irritating me and getting on my nerves. He was. And I talk to God the way I talk to you all. Okay. Like that's my God. That's my daddy. That's my Lord. That's my friend. I talk to him straight. And so I'm like, look, why are you bothering me about this? This is not fair for you to want me to be good when you sitting up there on your throne. Like you don't even have to get up, Lord. All you got to do is be like, okay? All you got to do is lift your pinky finger. And what I'm dealing with is done data. It's over. Why are you talking to me about me getting myself together? Lord, how about you get yourself together and you handle my light work here? That was my attitude. And that was also how I talked to God. So I had no idea at the time that my attitude was due to a lack of maturity, emotionally, spiritually. And I want to say this for the person that needs it. If you are emotionally all over the place based off of external circumstances, you have given your power away and you need to get it back. If someone mistreats you and that in and of itself is what ruins your day and causes you to be unhappy, you've essentially handed over to that person the control and the power over your joy and your happiness. But you can take it back. It doesn't have to be that way. You can actually be content and at peace in the middle of a storm. And I didn't realize at the time that that is what the Lord was trying to communicate to me. That's what the Lord was trying to get me to see. He was trying to get me to shift my thinking. He was trying to get me to take my power back when I was trying to get him to use all of his power to just make all my problems go away. And sometimes your problem isn't going away, so to speak, because God is trying to do something in you in the middle of that situation. Sometimes God allows things in our lives. Like God is a good God. His word says that he has good plans for us. So he's not going to say in his word he has good plans for us and then at the same time him put cancer on you or do this to you or do that to you. The enemy is the one that comes to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what the word says. You can Google the reference if you need it on that, okay? The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. God allows things. One, sometimes there are legal agreements in our bloodline that allow the enemy access to us. And then other times God allows things because in that situation, he's going to work something in us. It's in the difficult situations where we tend to grow. We tend to press into God. I don't know about you, but I've never had a season where I've just pressed into God because things were so wonderful. Baby, you know them times that I pressed into God real hard and sought him with my whole heart was when things were falling apart and things were not going good. It's just our makeup. We run to God in the challenge. We have a tendency to kind of feel like we don't really, we good when things are good. So by design of how we are, God uses the difficult situations. And if you are going to ever have peace in your life, you got to learn to be able to have peace no matter what's going on. And I am going to take time in more detail later to talk about it in detail, because as I've been looking back over my life, I'm amazed at how I've grown in this particular area. I am amazed at the times where, like, Lord, I should have been somewhere in a corner blowing bubbles, but God, you kept me. And so I'm going to share in detail the lessons that I've learned over time about how I've been able to do that. But tonight, I just want to make you aware that you don't have to be blown every which way just because things happen in life. You can have peace and you can have joy without everything being perfect. And I believe people tend to think that because I am generally a joyous person and I'm, usually happy, people tend to think I don't have no problems. Baby, if you knew my life, you'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised. This joy that I have, I make a decision to have the joy, regardless of what's going on in my life. I have joy in spite of things that go on in my life. And if you have not yet gotten to a place where you've been able to do that with any type of consistency, now is the time. All right, so that's all I wanted to share with you tonight. And before I go, maybe in case you hadn't heard a word on the street, is that enrollment is now open for Help Me Prep Academy. It will be open through May 31st. So if you have been interested in coming into my mentoring program and growing and learning about spiritual growth, learning about your role as a kingdom wife and receiving inner healing, now is the time to do that. So you can get more information about that on my website at drqbeyond.com. And as always, I am still doing prophetic empowerment coaching and one-on-ones. And so if you think I can help you with something, whatever the topic is, you can book a one-on-one consultation with me on my website as well, drqbeyond.com. Click on coaching and I'll be more than happy to meet with you. All right. I love you. Be blessed. And you know how we do. Don't be stingy. Share this with somebody. Love you. Bye.